everybody, it's Chelsea. I'm back again with some more pregnancy stuff. So let me just show you now. Here's the baby bump. I'm 25 weeks. Getting close to 26 weeks. It is going really good. I had a couple days of hard time sleeping, but I changed my pillow arrangement and things are getting better, so that's always nice. Today I'm going to be answering some of your questions that you guys have asked. I'm going to start off with new questions, and then at the end I might go back over a couple of the older questions just if anybody's new. And this is about being pregnant in rural Alaska and having to travel for appointments and just what that all kind of looks like. While I'm answering those questions today, I went to the thrift store, so here's a little clip here. I got 2 bags of baby clothes on sale for $13. And then I have a friend who gave me another bag full from her son. So I'm going to go through it and then I'm going to show you guys what we got. I'm going to go through while I answer questions and try to multitask and show you clothes as I answer the questions. We'll see how that goes. So the first question is, why are we nervous to have a boy? And one of the reasons we are nervous to have a boy is just because we've only ever had a daughter. So Bonnie is gonna be almost 3 by the time baby brother arrives. And we just haven't done any of the boy things. So we're used to having a girl and that's our comfort zone. So there's nothing wrong with having a boy and it's going to be great. And as you can tell, we have lots of clothes for boy now and it's been really fun, but we just haven't had any experience with baby boys. So that is why we are nervous. The next question is, how do we schedule like the birth? So one person asked if I have to have a C-section. No, we do not schedule a C-section unless there's like a medical reason why beforehand. For me, I don't have any medical reason why I would need to have a C-section. I will go to Juneau about, usually it's 3 weeks. They want you there 3 weeks before you're due. So for me, I'd go like mid-April and then you wait. So you're just there for the duration of your pregnancy. You have your appointments there, and you don't come back. They don't want you traveling anywhere after you get where you're going to be when you have the baby. And so we will go, me and Bonnie will probably go to Juneau in mid-April, and then Joe will come probably like a week before baby's due date. And what that means for us is that if I think I'm going into labor, or if I lose my mucus plug, or if my bladder breaks, I call him. If he's not already in Juneau, I call him right away and he gets on a plane as quickly as he can. Hopefully he will be able to get on a plane, like the planes haven't left yet. Right now, we're back to 2 planes a day. So there's a plane at 10 a.m. and there's a plane at 3 p.m. So as long as it's not too late in the evening, by the time I call him, hopefully he can get on a plane. If not, he'll come the next day. I mean, there's definitely a chance that he misses the birth, and that's just something that we live with here in Southeast Alaska. If the weather's bad, if he can't get on the plane before it already leaves, if the plane's full, it's a chance. There's always a chance that your spouse is going to miss the birth unless they can go with you the whole time. But usually if your spouse works, they can't be there with you the whole time. So for me and Joe, he's not going to be able to be there with us the whole time, but I was 4 days late with Bonnie, so I will probably be right around the due date with this one, hopefully. You never know though, so big mystery. All those clothes I just showed you were all our newborn clothes. So now I'm going to go ahead and show you our 0 to 3 month clothes. Okay, so now we're on to 0 to 3 month clothes, and we are at, the question is just more about what happens when we go to have the baby. So I go over mid-April, and then I will stay there, and I'll actually be staying at a hotel this time. With Bonnie, we did not have insurance that paid for our housing while we were there, so we did have to find our own housing. Luckily, we went to college in Juneau for 6 years, and so we have a lot of friends that still live there. I have to pause real quick. This is my favorite onesie. There's a sloth on it. So we went to college there for 6 years, and what that means for us is that a lot of our college friends actually still live there, and we have some good family friends there as well. And so we were able to stay with friends while we were there. So I just kind of rotated. So for the first almost 3 weeks, it was just me. At least 2 weeks, it was just me. So it was just me, and I just stayed 1 week at a house, a friend's house, the next week at another friend's house. And then the week that we expected Bonnie to be born, we had asked to stay the rest of the pregnancy at one house, just so we didn't have to move again mid-pregnancy, or like we never knew when we were going to deliver at that point. And so they were actually going to be out of town for a lot of the time we were going to be doing that. So that worked out really well, and it was perfect. They had a car we could use. It went really well. They were basically the farthest house you could be out of the hospital range. So it was we clocked it, and it was like a 20-minute drive. And so we kept that in mind as we were, preparing to leave. And like when I went into active labor, and like, okay, well, we also have to think about it's going to be at least 20 minutes before we'll be at the hospital. But this time we are able to, because I qualified for Medicaid this time, we will have a hotel while I'm there. So for the 3 weeks that I'm there, I'll be staying at a hotel, and I'm sure I'll go visit friends and have dinner and stuff like that. But it will be nice just to be able to stay in one spot once we get all our stuff there, all the stuff we'll need to have there for baby. We'll be able to just leave it at the hotel and not have to worry about transporting it all these different places. And so that will be really nice. Somebody asked if I will be staying with my sister, and the answer is no. She lives in a really small house, so there's not really a lot of room for me and Bonnie and all of our stuff. And then we also we'll have a hotel this time, so that will be great. We actually ended up buying a truck in Juneau, and it's staying there right now. And so we'll have a car to use while we're there. So that will be really great for us. And I think we're just gonna end up leaving it there until we go to have baby, just so we'll have a car to use for sure. So now I'm gonna go through my 3-month clothes that we got. And the last question is going back. So just kind of about insurance and how that all works. So when you live in rural Alaska, a lot of people are wondering like who pays for you to go to these appointments. Does your insurance pay? And that's a difficult question because it just depends on the insurance. Really good insurance would definitely pay for you to go to each appointment. But our school insurance, they would pay for 2 trips. They pay for 2 trips a year. And so we'd have 2 trips paid for, but we would not have all of them paid for. I definitely have to travel more than twice in order to be seen by the doctor as many times as I need to when I'm pregnant. And so luckily, I'm Alaska Native, and I mean, so is Joe. We are all Alaska Native. But that means that they will pay for me to fly to go be seen by a doctor. And that's what we did for Bonnie. They paid for us to fly. This time we qualify for Medicaid, and so for us, that means that they'll pay for us to travel. Well, they'll pay for me to travel, and then they will pay for hotel also, because what we were doing before was just staying with friends, which is fine, but it's a little bit harder during COVID times. It's just a little more tricky. I feel bad asking to shuffle houses all of the time and be moving a lot, so it's nice that we'll be able to stay at a hotel the whole time in one spot. And then a question I kind of have gotten asked, I didn't actually put it on the thing, but another question I had gotten asked was about how do we what is it like having to travel? Is it scary? I would hate having to travel when I'm pregnant. I don't know, it's been fine for me. I've gotten a little scared a couple times. Just flying in bad weather makes me nervous, flying in the wintertime. I haven't had any super bad experiences, but it does happen. So it is a little nerve-wracking. You could have mid appointments here in Cake. They are able to do the Doppler and get baby's heart tones and things like that. They're able to measure you, get your weight, do your blood pressure. But they don't really have an ultrasound, and they don't like to do a lot of they don't really like to do the bigger tests here. So they don't really like to do the glucose test here. And they don't really want to be doing anything that you actually need to go into the vagina for. And so they often will just rather have you go out, because they're not There is no doctor here, and there's an RN, but he doesn't really like to see women just because he's a male and just doesn't want to be caught in any situations, I think is why. Anyways, I don't actually know for sure, but so it's just nurses that will see the pregnant women, and so it's just kind of, it's just a different situation. And so I personally am a little bit more of a nervous pregnant person, so I do like to go out for my appointments and just be seen other places by a doctor. But yeah, if there was anything that really went wrong, I would end up going to the clinic. They would check me out. If they thought something was really wrong, I would get on an emergency flight and either go to Juneau or Sitka, or if it was a really bad emergency, I would go to Seattle or Anchorage. So there are precautions, but it's just kind of the life we live being here. Everything went really well with Bonnie, so I'm just keeping my fingers crossed that everything's going to go really well with baby boy as well. So thanks for all the questions. Hopefully you liked seeing all the baby boys' new clothing. Some of them are just so adorable. I didn't show quite everything. I didn't know if I'd have enough time, so I left out kind of the more plainer stuff. But yeah, it was really fun. And let me know if you have any more questions or if you want like more details on certain things. Yeah, thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.